deep is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn, 'cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be. And belong to you and me. I forgot the other stuff, but I'm getting lost in the song. Shout out to the Bee Gees for that wonderful song. I love me some Bee Gees. That falsetto, they killed it. But just like, you know how they do, black people start some shit, and everybody else figures out how to make money off that dope creation that we kind of started. But let's continue. What it is, kids, old folks, kin folks, grown, young, mid-age, no age, one of the halvesies, and all the other titles that you like to give yourself nowadays, because we got a lot of them. There's a lot of titles that people can rep now. You know, what do I even consider myself? You know what I mean? Let's not get into it. What's good? It's your boy Thaddy Luv back again with another wonderful set of Durag news. But before I start, I gotta show you my wonderful dope shirt. I really want to know the story behind this. It's a strong black queen punching a cop in the face. That is some shit. I will believe it's in the early 50s, late 60s. If anybody knows the story behind this, please let me know. But you know, you also can get a shirt like that too. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, but this is the woman's history. We gotta show that love to our queens, to our warriors, to the women who actually deserve the power and the praise. But nevertheless, please like, share, subscribe. I got a lot to talk about, and I do not want to lollygag, and I can go off on tangents. So let's see what the world has me drawn up and bringing to y'all. Now, is it me, or the news is getting pretty quiet nowadays? Maybe because COVID is not as crazy as it was. We don't have a president like Trump. And it's getting pretty quiet out here. There's a lot going on, nevertheless. But I remember this time last year, there were so many stories that we were unpacking and bringing to you, especially around this time. Because we know it or not, this is when the lockdown actually started this time last year. Right now, we were all in fear a year ago. You remember that? And I remember during this time last year, I got time to just really sit with myself and not have to run around so much. So, you know, can't be mad at that lockdown too much, because it definitely helped those to get things in perspective if you needed a nice little tune-up in your brain. So where do I start with this world being so quiet? And there's really not much to talk about, because here at Durag News, we bring the real deal, sex appeal, but we bring the real deal, the main part, okay? The main part is real deal. And I'm not really into that drama shit. I'm not really into talking shit about people. And we want to get to the real shit, because a lot of the news that we get today is just distractions, gossip, and plain old bullshit, which I'm not trying to give. But it's hard, because that's what the people like. Distractions, bullshit, and a whole bunch of drama. So the first bit of gossip, drama, or bullshit, or success, others would call it. Did you see the Grammys this weekend? Did anybody catch the Grammys? I didn't. I was with my nephew that weekend, and it was pretty cool. You know, family first. That's number one. But no, I missed the Grammys. But shout out to all the artists who actually won. I know Nas got something. Blue Ivory got another something. So shout out to the people who really got some stuff out there. I wasn't really too tied into the Grammys, because I'm still on the fence with Grammys myself, because I know the history, and even having It's Deeper Than Black and White, you know, performance, and having Tamika Mallory, you know, have that powerful speech on the Grammy stage, because our voices need to be heard. kudos and shout out to them, whoever worked that situation out. Because black lives really matter. And a lot of times black lives feel unheard and feel unsupported. So if you got a black life that you love, please support them, because you never know the torment and the psychological issues that black person may have. But nevertheless, because I want to bring a Black Lives Matter, but that's a little later. For me, lately, looking at my family, looking at my friends, looking at the pros and cons of all of them, looking at the pros and cons of myself, and as somebody who actually reps the community, look at me, I couldn't even deny it if I wanted to. Us black folks, we got to start taking a little bit more responsibility for everything. You know, as a man, and the older I get, the more I see responsibility is really all we have. And owning up to our responsibility. Because it is very easy to blame people, places, and things for the lack of things that we may find that we don't have, or situations that we find ourselves in. It is so easy nowadays to say he, she, we, them, and all the others have put me in my position. Hey, there's some truth to that. You know, with redlining and, you know, poverty and, you know, just the prisoner pipeline, all that shit. You know, we see it. It's real. But then I do know a whole bunch of black people, chocolate folks, whatever you want to call them, who have been through those same situations but made a way out of no way. Shout out to my dad for that one. You know, looking at people like him, growing up, shitty, horrible, poverty, rough, alone, a lot, and making it and providing for his family. Shout out to that wonderful black man. That's why I'm a wonderful black man, because I've seen a wonderful black man. So be a wonderful black man so you can have more wonderful black men. But this is Women's History Month. We're going to get to you ladies a little bit later too. Shout out to you. We love y'all. But be a wonderful representation of what you want to see the world. If you want to see it, you got to be it. But if you're not it, then it's not it. I love it. The words is coming in so naturally. But to bring it back, there comes a point in anyone's life, a man, woman, or whatever you want to consider yourself, that you have to take responsibility for where you are and what is coming after you. My homie said I got to speak, so we going to speak. And it came to me the other day that you got to leave because you're already going to leave. Your time on this earth is very precious, and that clock is ticking every day. So I'm a big component in giving more than you're taking, because you can't take any of this shit with you. I don't even want to get into that. It is so dope, the power that we have, because not a lot of time that we have. And you can really do a lot and cause and have effect on a lot of people's lives with the time that you're here. So to wrap it all up, I know I'm taking it all into the up and out places, but take responsibility. Make sure that what you're doing, your contribution, is really leaving a strong link on the chain so somebody else can keep going and pulling this truck or climbing the rope, whatever you want to call the metaphors, because we do metaphors on a regular over here, but you get it. Responsibility. Own up to it, regardless of your race at this point. You in a position? You want to be in position? Figure it out. Study. Because blaming folks and whining and complaining is going to leave your ass stuck, confused, and alone. But I do understand if you see somebody trying to lift heavy weight by themselves, you are more inclined to help them. But if somebody's complaining about the heavy weight that they got to carry, most of the time you're not going to want to help them. You see what I mean? Shout out to my boy Virgili, Get Silly, High Percentage. It's time for some sports. Man, what's going on over there in the sports world, homie?
Enough is enough. Got me feeling like Vince, cause the show's over. Whole arm in the rim. Do I gotta go again? Y'all need more proof that I'm him. Performance in game shows, who's in the gym. Beat the scoreboard, y'all losing again. Y'all doing all this front like it's cool to pretend.
Hello, everyone. It's your boy High Percentage, and I'm back with this week's edition of Durag Sports. The Brooklyn Nets have acquired Blake Griffin. If you didn't think the Nets were a lock for the finals, guess what? Ball and chain. With the late addition of Blake Griffin, the Nets is definitely in good shape to contend for the title, man. I ain't gonna hold you. They got me sweating under the gun. And you know, add this to the Joel Embiid injury. It's nasty work, man. Bruised bone in his knee, whatever that means. Got the big fella out for a few weeks, man. That's bad timing. The Nets is only a half a game behind the number one seeded 76ers. Doc definitely got answers, though. You know, he'll figure it out, man. I don't know how. He's crafty with the roster and all of that, and playmaking and shit like that, you know what I mean? The New York Knicks have dropped to 7th place that quick. I mean, they lingering around 500, so it's not that they suck, you know what I mean? And they definitely got one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the league right now. I'm not sold on stats, you know what I mean? The stats say they're number one, or the stats say they number one, rather. I'm not buying into that, though, man. Tough schedule might make them bounce back a couple slots, man, you know what I mean? But the spirit of winning is definitely festering in New York City right now, man. Shout out Bobby Schmurda, Rowdy, Fetty, repping BK hard at the Nets game. Hard-handed Bobby a signed jersey after the win. Classic New York vibes. You know what I mean? Shout out to Harden for coming in and just like, you just fit in. You know what I mean? The city definitely buzzing. A Nets-Knicks playoff series will put the city on tilt. I can see this happening though, you know what I mean? Results may vary, but I could definitely see this happening, man. Winning brought Spike out. Anything can happen, man. Spike called it quits for a little bit. He's back on the court side, you know what I mean? I'm telling you, it's a win for the city. And although I'm not a fan of either team, I'm from New York and I love it. I love it. Shout out to Ben Simmons, the loyalty. After missing an All-Star game due to his barber testing positive for COVID, he still came out and said, that's still my barber. No love lost. Shout out to him, man. I'm always going to support the real shit. Always the real shit. You know what I mean? It's Durag Sports is what we do over here. Anthony Edwards is on a bad team, but his highlight reels is highly entertaining. He got two of the best cranks this year. Go do your Googles. They got one more year to get it together with Cant and D-Lo, and they're going to have to trade, blow that up. You know what I mean? Pause. No freaky with that. Because this losing is out of control, man. Talent going to waste. I mean, time to develop is definitely needed, but at what point do we cut the losses, man? Move the pieces for the greater good, man. I'm just saying. I don't know. It's my take. I say 1, maybe 2 seasons, and it's time to pack it up, man. Bring Cat to a winning franchise, man. Shout out to Cat, you know what I mean? Dominican, yeah. Del Omino. Yeah. Clippers looking real funny under the light, man. Pat Bev, Reggie Jackson. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. Those are $2 bills, man. That's not going to cut it. And, you know, they close to the cap, so they ain't really got no money to hire no help, man. It's a lose-lose for them, man. So we going to move off of that. We ain't even going to talk to them too tough. AD still hurt. Be back soon, man. I'm hoping that it's not something that's going to linger into the playoffs. You know, we're not scared on this side. You know, we just cautious. You know what I mean? Bron a little older. AD a little hobble. You know what I mean? Like, shit could get critical. They got Blake Griffin on Brooklyn side. Like, I don't know, man. It's looking like that Brooklyn team is looking real East New York. You know what I mean? You see East New York niggas come off the train. That L train, you know what I mean? Let's get off the train. You be like, oh, hold up. Who that? You got to back the hammer out on one of them. But, yo, we getting on topic. Let's run it back a little bit. Just a little bit. AD coming back, though. Don't let that go over your head, man. As long as he stay healthy, that BK LA Finals is a lock, if you ask me. And I ain't talking about the Clippers, man. I'm talking about the Lakers. The real LA team. You know what I'm saying? Reigning champs. Continue to win, though. They continue to win. You know what I'm saying? Some tough losses to some subpar teams recently, you know, but the spirit remains. It's a winning culture for sure. Never doubt that. We're going to keep winning. Space Jam 2 on the way. We're filming that in the meantime. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Suns, currently in 2nd place in the West, balling under the radar, and not enough praise given to CP3. Salute to you, homeboy. Mr. What's the joint he worked for? With the red State Farm, with the red tee. Oh yeah, we matching. Yeah, with the red t-shirt. Yeah. Shout out to you, man. We ain't gonna give you too much promo. Myers Leonard with the Freudian slip, man. Might have costed him his job. Word. The Miami Heat big man was playing Call of Duty live stream and called somebody the K word, an anti-Semitic word. You know what I mean? We're not, out of respect for our Jewish audience, we're not gonna repeat that on here. He's out of line. Then the apology was mad dry, mad weak. You know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't it, champ. I need emotions. I need tears and all of that. Not sure what the future holds for him, man, but I bet he won't be playing live streams so freely, man. Let that be a lesson to you motherfuckers, man. Be careful what you say. The camera's always watching. Leonard was fined $50K and suspended for the week, man. Haslam wasn't happy and said there's no room for that here in Miami. And if you're not familiar with Haslam or what he means to that team, just know that he holds a lot of weight in that organization, man. Pat Ewing was hot after getting stopped by security in the guard, man. Pat, congrats to Pat, man. Coach Pat on winning the Big East tourney, but he had this to say about the situation.
But I do want to say one thing, though. I thought this was my building, and I feel terrible that I'm getting stopped, accosted, asking for passes. Everybody in this building should know who the hell I am. And I'm getting stopped. I can't move around this building. Like I was like, what the hell? Is this Madison Square Garden? I'm going to have to call Mr. Dolan and say, geez, is my number in the rafters or what?
I say knock it off, homeboy. You were more infamous than famous in that building, man. Because you ain't never crossed that finish line, my guy. Respectfully, you had a great career, but you not Mike, you not Cole, you not Shaq, you not none of them dudes. Why? Because the rings. And it's been over 20 years, fam. The casual fan doesn't know you. It hurts and it shows, you know what I mean? I will say this, though. It's fire to win a title as a coach where you won as a player. Big rest in peace to marvelous Marvin Hagler, man. One of the greatest to ever do it. He was the undisputed middleweight champ from 1980 to 87. Marvin Hagler versus Tommy Hearns is arguably one of the best rounds of boxing ever, man. Do your Googles, man. Mans was ill with the fisticuffs, man. The fight world lost a great one, man. Usman and Masvidal 2 is scheduled to be on the card for what Dana White is claiming will be the first full crowd. UFC 261. I'm looking forward to this one, man. My son Jorge, he lost that last one. But you gotta remember, he took that fight with a week's notice. That's different. I got my money on son. Something about the way he hold his pizza during the post-fight interviews, man, tells me that he's about that action. Let us not forget that's Kimbo Slice's protege, man. Rest in peace to Kimbo, man. Let us not forget that. So when I seen him punching son in the backyard and all of that, there's something there. He got some fire in him, you know what I mean? I feel like he gonna unleash this fight. Pause. Let me get it back. Run it back real quick. And Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury lock a deal in for 2 fights. I'm not sure if this fight will be a bigger draw than a Wilder Fury rematch, but we definitely had some heat between Joshua and Fury, so it's gonna be a brawl. I'm tuned in. Whenever they set the date, I'm tuned in. A guaranteed rematch is a weird flex, but okay. I get it. I'm gonna guarantee that. I don't know whoever side picked that. It's a little suspicious, man. You in the lineup, nigga. A little suspect, man. Why you want 2 fights? Why not 3? Why not 4? Why 2? What that mean? You was gonna lose the first one? Drew Brees announces his retirement. Meanwhile, Brady signed a year extension. What's going on? Hopefully, J-Bo was taking notes. The footwork look elite. Hit work crazy. Speaking of footwork, shout out to Odell, getting back to it. Seen him on the treadmill, running full speed. You know, he just tore his ACL, man. Shout out to Karis LeVert, too. We ain't forget about you. We should have hollered at you in the NBA section. Welcome back. You know, he had that something growing in him. I don't know. I ain't no doctor or nothing. I ain't get into specifics and all of that. But he had some type of growing on a tumor or some type of tumor growing somewhere. I don't know, man. He's back, though. He back. He was looking all right on his Pacers uniform, Pacers debut. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to him, man. Injuries in sports is definitely plaguing us. I'm getting tired of it, man. All the best players always seem to get injured. That's why you got to big up LeBron, big LeBreezy, for staying healthy all these years, man. If he want to take a game off, let him take a game off, man. I'm with Kawhi with the load management, man. And that's another thing. We ain't even go too deep on the Clippers, but the Clippers looking crazy because Kawhi not even doing the load management and they losing. I think they lost like 5 of the last 7 or something like that. They might have lost the last. I think they won. Yeah, they won one recently, but they've been losing a lot lately, man. What's going on over there, man? They really need a point guard bad. So bad I had to bring it back at the end of the segment. You know what I'm saying? And in closing, it's your boy Hot Percentage, wrapping up this week's edition of Durag Sports. And now a word from our sponsors. Shout out to Silky Durag. Shout out Parauma Potions. Shout out to TanClanInc for paying for the lights in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to, who else we got, man? Films by, give me some shout outs, man. Refined Digitals. Define Digitals, he gonna get it together on the edit. Define Digital, shout out to you. You know what I mean? Go holler at the peoples, man. Get your little bath bomb or something, man. Get your little do-rag or something, man. You know what I mean? Get your little photo shoot or something, man. Holler at the peoples, man. Support black business, man. Support small business, man. Come shop with us. Come shop with us, you heard?
Ladies and gangsters love Parauma Potions. Parauma Potions. Get you some.
Okay, I'm getting lost into it. Shout out to Biz Marquee, holding down for Strong Island. You already know we gotta show that love. But yeah, you know, beatboxing is actually one of the 5 elements of hip hop. But people are not really beatboxing like that. Please don't lose the beatbox. Please don't lose the beatbox. But that's not the news. That's just something that I got random. But let's get into the real shit. Okay. BLM, 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 BLM. Damn. I feel like BLM is getting in that hot seat. You know what I mean? People are starting to look at BLM a little bit differently. And, you know, we've been talking about BLM. We've been really looking at BLM a little sideways for a little while now. And everybody, well, let me not say everybody, but a good chunk of people are looking at BLM like, I don't know. It's a bit fishy over there. Last week I brought up Mike Brown's dad, and this week I'm bringing up Tamir Rice's mother. Same conversation, different day. Same organization. BLM. It's like BLM. Okay, making too many jokes. BLM. Come on, BLM. Y'all gotta do better. I did hear some words from certain members who are repping the BLM fam. Take a look.
Black Lives Matter organization receive, because that matters, you know, and it's not there's no shade or anything, but there is a difference between the Black Lives Matter movement and the Black Lives Matter organization. Now, me and you have had this conversation, and we say Black Lives Matter made 90 million, and we say that's not enough money. They receive.
Yeah, it's important. The language, like the words, is all because you know they'll be like.
To me, you want me to tell you? For me, why I say made, because at the end of the day, when you're doing work, right,
you should make.
You make.
Right.
You know, when you actually do it. So when you say, for me, I don't think it's receipt. Like, that's why I don't like the word donation. I like investment, right? Because investment means you see somebody doing something that you believe in. Therefore, you put your money to invest in that because you realize that the work they're doing is something that you want to invest in, that you believe in. So to me, you can say received, to me, is made.
First and foremost, once again, shout out to Tamika Mallory for doing her thing at the Grammys. Also, my son. I was actually at his march a few years ago when Nipsey died. It was a very dope day in the Bronx. Very beautiful. Very memorable. And from that moment until now, my personal experience with Black Lives Matter, because we had we was there shooting in Brooklyn and Long Island and a few other protests about Black Lives Mattering. And when I was at those protests, I'm always gonna say it because it needs to get stuck and ingrained in people's heads. It really felt like I was at a baseball game. People just cheering and yelling and screaming and supporting the black team. Go black team! Well, you you gotta support the black team. But people always find ways to slither their way in our community and make that money on that back end. Like Tamika Mallory said, they're not making no money, and that money is not even scratching the surface, which makes a lot of sense. Like she said, a lot of broke people are looking at that money, but it's really not anything compared to the money that went to the Democratic Party. You know, the money that goes into all these other organizations and leaves us with the crumbs. But because they repping BLM on TV or in a commercial or in a t-shirt, well, you look like you support. Because when I was in Brooklyn, because people don't talk about this, but we're going to talk about this today. When I was in Brooklyn and we did that BLM march, it wasn't a lot of black people. It was mainly white folks. And I have a lot of white friends. I love a lot of white folks. I got a lot of love for white folks. But I'm not going to sit there and act like seeing all those white folks out there, I know most of them didn't care. It was a defense. It was a ploy from what I believe. Let's just support, because I don't want to look like a hater and I don't want those Negroes coming to my house. So let's just go in the street and blend in. Oh my God, the blending game is crazy. Motherfuckers is blending in. So please pay attention to where your money's going. Please pay attention to what you actually supporting and what the support is actually doing. Because like I said, a lot of that money went to the Democratic Party. It don't have nothing to do with black people. And that's why these people and these politicians feel comfortable saying, if you don't support us, are you black? Come on. Let's not fall asleep here. I don't want to say be woke, because that woke shit just kind of got played out, and now being woke is being someone who supports everything. Yeah. All right? But don't fall asleep. Please don't be led astray. And do more investigation in the people that you decide to support, or the people that say they support you. We're going to keep an eye out on BLM. The cat's out of the bag, and a lot of people aren't happy. So if you're going to ride, be a rider. I know money is hard, so we definitely need some investments or donations or whatever you want to call it. Speaking of that, we need some investments and donations and support, because I'm doing this for y'all. The Cash App is right here, the TanClanInc Cash App. Feel free. But I ain't going to say this is going to the BLM, but I will say this is going to a whole bunch of black men, women in my family, and everybody else to keep this boat afloat we call TanClan. And that right there is supporting the dream, like my man MLK had. But the dream is more digital, okay? Regardless, all in all, pay attention. How much time I got? Oh, I'm not even talking too much. But nevertheless, I'm clocking myself because I can go off tangents. I'm having fun. Nevertheless, make sure the money, investing, and the people who say they ride for you is really doing so. Because screaming and yelling is great, but the real, when money starts getting involved, when families start getting involved, and all other commercialized, propagandalized, I know that's not a word, situations get wiggled in, we get confused, lost, and led astray once again. And I'm talking to my black people. Pay attention. Because you're not stupid. We're just lazy sometimes. Let's just be honest. All right, the stimulus checks is here. Now, I know I'm going to be saying what I've been saying, but you got to hear what I've been saying so it can be ingrained in your brain. All right? Be careful with that money. Money, they say, is the root of all evil. I'm stepping away from more of that. I'm looking at money as fuel. I'm seeing more and more, I don't have a lot of money, but the money that I have goes right back into what I do so I can keep on going. Just like gas in your car. And if you don't have gas in your car, then you're stuck. And you can't go nowhere. And RP to that family who lost their life, to the man who killed them for that $1,400. Damn. And I know people actually got killed for a lot less. So technically, is it really that crazy? We got to do better. We got to see more than a picture, because that man actually killed the mother of his children for money. That's mental, baby. That's mental. Money is great. Money provides opportunity. Money provides shelter, food, and other little services and knickknacks, patty wax, give yourself a dog, give yourself a bone, give your dog a bone. Yeah. All of those things. Money is good for those things. But when we get wrapped up on this money, being so excited about that 1400, it's crazy. Shout out to my boy Derek D. Chaos for bringing this very dope perspective.
Yeah, everybody's celebrating this stimulus check and shit. What y'all really celebrating is not making more than 80 grand a year. I mean, is that what you want?
We're excited about these STEMIs. But we don't realize the ones who are getting the STEMIs are the ones who are not really making enough money to really sustain and support themselves. So is that a real win? Hey, I'm not hating, but it's a good question. Is it a real win to get a stimulus check when we are not really making enough money to really support our own selves? People are going to say, you know, I lost my job. Times is hard. I'm not doing this. I'm doing that. You know, hey, we got a whole bunch of excuses. Nevertheless, it is definitely something to think about. Free money is great, but I would believe earned money is always better. All right, you know I got to talk my shit. You know it is Women's History Month, and I would be remiss if I don't show that love. We don't give enough love to the women out here really holding it down for our children, like nurses and teachers. I'm a teacher myself, but not really. I don't really consider myself a teacher. I just be educating. But don't call me no teacher, though. Like, I feel that's kind of weird. But shout out to the real teachers out here. Shout out to the real nurses and people working in the hospitals. I was at the hospital the other day, and there was one older black woman late at night. And I thanked her because I know that she was the one holding down the fort in that hospital. I knew nothing came and went and did not move without her say. And those women right there are the ones that's holding down our children when we got to run to the hospital late at night. Those are the women who are going to put us at ease. The ones who are really there to care. Shout out to those ladies because they definitely don't get paid enough and they definitely don't get enough love. Because we look at all these celebrities and people shaking their ass and giving them awards and all that shit. I ain't a hater, because I'm not too mad at ass shaking, but there's a time and place for that. But I do not see a lot of praise and thankfulness to the ones who are actually doing something for our children directly with education and healthcare. So, if you find yourself bumping into an educator, if you find yourself bumping into someone that's working in healthcare, mainly pediatrics and kids, even adults too, show that love because without them, we would be lost. And I know a lot of us had maybe bad experience in school with some fucked up teachers, but I know we had a few that really catered and cared, and if you didn't, you know, you missed out. So sorry about your misfortune. But there are some good teachers out here that really care and really want to make sure our kids are growing the right way. Because I know right now, the right way seems a bit askew because there's so many right ways and a right way to be. You feel me? But nevertheless, it's about the ladies. I love you. I appreciate you, I honor you, and I work hard for you because I cannot play myself, and this is for the young man out there because I must mention it. Shout out to Marquette, the saint and the sinner. Nice guy to listen on YouTube. Look him up. Maybe a little raw, but he got a good point. Shout out to Marquette. Nevertheless, he said, you don't lose women chasing your dream, but you lose women chasing women. I told a friend, it's time to build our garden. Water those flowers. And when it's time to pick and harvest, you do so. You feel me? I think that's enough. I think you had enough. Like I said, if you want one of these shirts, hit me up. I got you. If you want some of this Parauma stuff, hit me up. I got you. If you want some of this Durag news, please stay tuned. Like, share, subscribe. This hot fire because we are bringing it, we are dealing it, and we are supplying it for you because we actually care. This show is really not heavily based in drama, gossip, the hoo-ha, and all that other extra. But it is extra because I was thinking if I just went like this, don't Don't I kind of blend in with the wall? That has nothing to do with anything. But the aesthetics are very important if you want the audience to stay. So I'm glad that you did. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're coming back. And for me, I'm not too hurt or harboring over viewerships and all that other shit. When it's my time, oh Lord. That's why this is in the gym stuff. And if you're not in the gym with me now, I can see what's going on because it don't take much to be great. In days, I feel like Michael Jordan wilding out in his editing, video, and all that shit. Because damn, I don't see many people that can do what I do. And I don't see many people rocking hard with a strong, solid team that I got. So thank you everybody for supporting. That's the TanClan fam. That's the external fam, the distant fam, and the people who really support what we gotta support. So thank you. Like I said, we got the Cash App, so if you wanna throw some donations, and not a chicken bone in our shit, shout out to Coming to America once again, feel free. Till next time, I'm your boy Thaddy Luv. It's been wonderful. Stay true, stay real, stay grounded. And, you know, if you gotta fly and try to touch the sky, do that. Because hopefully you'll land on a cloud. All right? This is me landing on a cloud right now. And I ain't coming down right now. Peace out. I love y'all. Happy Women's History Month. I'm going to keep going. Shout out to y'all ladies. I love y'all some ladies. I love me some ladies. Do what y'all got to do. Till next time. All right? Peace out, y'all.